If I could please have your attention. It's 9 o'clock and the messages that went out said that we would start at 9 o'clock. And 7th graders, one thing you'll hear from me is early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. So get used to that. Hi, my name is Mike McAuliffe. I am the interim principal here at Driver Middle School for grades 7 and 8. Mrs. Rice is the permanent principal and is out on maternity leave. She will be returning October 1st. But until such time, I have the distinct honor and pleasure of serving as your principal for the next month. We are obviously standing room only, and we've got a lot on the agenda for this morning. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn the program over to the 7th and 8th grade counselor, Mr. Guercio.
Thanks, Mr. McCullough. And thank you for making the time on the last couple of moments of summer to kind of see what 7th grade is about, kind of explore the building a little bit. Obviously, you are not strangers to this building, but you are new to this side of the building, and I probably would imagine by the end of the day today, you all will feel pretty comfortable about where everything is, how far you have to walk, and by the time you leave here, you realize that it's not going to be that far. So again, we'll get you in a good place, ready to go to start in less than a week, and then obviously after today, enjoy the last few days of summer. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for meeting in the cafeteria. Our auditorium obviously is under some pretty cool renovations right now, so probably by the time opening day or maybe weeks roll around, we got a really cool auditorium for you guys. So on that note, let's start. I realize that I am standing in the way of you kind of connecting with your friends and finding out who's got who for what class and when do you have that class and where your lockers are. So I will make this brief. I will make this as succinct as possible, but if you have any questions about anything we talk about or want to talk more about something, I'm going to be roaming around the hallways, kind of helping everybody find their lockers, answering any questions. So, of course we did this and it worked, and now it's not. Make it happen. Oh, something happened. Anyway, well, we'll get that working. I want to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Guercio. I am the 7th and 8th grade counselor. I am the variant at this level from Miss McInerney, who was out there right now, and you've all probably at some point come to know her, see her in your classrooms. You also met Miss Howard, who now got married over the summer. She is Mrs. Ta. So if you see her in the hallway, say, "Hi, Mrs. Ta, how are you?" And part of the role and responsibility I have for you guys is very similar to what you had encountered or worked with Miss McInerney with. So I am here for your personal, social, academic, and career development for the next 2 years. All right, so what does that look like? Well, you know, Miss Ta and I will be coming into your classrooms and we'll be talking about some social, emotional learning. Some pretty important stuff too. We'll do a little study skill conversations. We'll be talking about empathy. We'll be talking about navigating really difficult social situations. We will be talking about, you know, what does it mean to make a good decision? How does our brain work and all the good things like that. So we also have Dr. Finn. She's our school psychologist. And we have Mrs. Quantz, who's in the main office. So anytime you need a bus note or you got some important information that needs to come to school, Mrs. Quantz is your contact person. So, and we talked about that. So, I want to linger here for the Dignity for All Students Act. So, like Miss McInerney in 4-6, she's the Dignity Act coordinator for the 4-6. I am the Dignity Act coordinator for grades 7 and 8. So, the reason why I want to hang out here for just a minute is that obviously, you're in 7th grade now. The game changes a little bit, not too much, right? But you are going to be encountering a lot more freedoms in the hallway, a lot more responsibilities, managing 7 or 8 different classes a day. But most of all, you're going to be kind of encountering some new social situations too. Now, I'm saying all this not to intimidate you or scare you, but friendships are changing. I don't know, maybe some of you are feeling it already. I don't know, sometimes we are coming into new academic expectations of us. Maybe things are getting a little bit more difficult. So obviously everything is coming at you quick. Middle school is definitely a roller coaster, and I'm here to help you through that. So if anybody is not being kind to you, whether that's in the classrooms or in the hallway, on the school bus, on the playground, whatever, I want to know about it. So please come see me. We'll be talking about within the first week, we'll be going over all the Dignity for All Students Act, what those protected categories are, ways that you can connect with me, ways that you can do it anonymously. I know that sometimes, and we'll talk a little bit about, obviously right now, in 7th through probably the rest of your life, there is some sort of messaging out there, or maybe you're feeling that, well, I can't tell on that person because then I'm a snitch. But we'll talk about the difference between telling, tattling, and snitching and versus advocating for yourself. All right, so we'll talk a lot about that. Please advocate for yourself. If someone is doing something unkind to you, or you see somebody doing something unkind to somebody else, we want to know about it. We want to help. All right. Your day, we'll do this quick, right? So you guys are kind of the first cohort where things changed in 6th grade, and you kind of had a nice taste of what 7-12 is going to look like next year. You guys were bouncing around from different classes to different classes, so this slide had a lot more gravitas to it at one point. But you guys know, like, you bounced around a little bit. The only big thing is that you're waking up an hour earlier, at least. But the cool thing is you get out an hour earlier, right? So again, we've got 8 periods in the day for learning. And they are 41 minutes apiece, and you have 3 minutes in between each class. Now I can promise you that as 7th and 8th graders, the furthest point is between either Mrs. McNeil's social studies class and Mrs. Eaton's technology class, which is in the basement. And if you have Mrs. Eaton this marking period or next, go to the basement, follow the signs. Your gut will tell you that you're probably in the wrong place. I can assure you that you're not. But you guys had tech last year, so you know where it is, you know where to go. But I can assure you, walking from those 2 furthest points in the building, you can definitely do it in under 3 minutes, even if you are walking at a leisurely pace. So, the other thing to do while you're here and over the next couple of weeks, you're going to figure out in your schedule where your long walks are, where are your quick walks. Is this a good time between period 2 and 3 to stop at my locker, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, socialize? Or is this a time where I need to go really quick to my next class, which is downstairs and in the corner? So again, a little bit of what we'll be doing today, you'll figure that out, and we'll make sure that you know that and have a good, comfortable sense of your schedule by the time week 2 starts here. The other different thing is too, I mean, you did it a little bit last year for sure. You've got sometimes 8 different teachers in the day, right? So that could be a lot to manage. Everyone's got different expectations. So again, that can be difficult to manage too. Maybe one teacher allows you to chew gum in their class, and then maybe the next period they do not. So again, we're all learning. We're all going to fumble through this together, right? So the first month of school, we're going to make sure that you know, and we're not going to give you a hard time about it. We're going to be pretty lenient. But probably around October, right around the time Mrs. Rice comes back, we're going to kind of expect you guys to know the school-wide expectations, which we were going to be going through a lot over a couple days of opening school days. So again, you guys are going to be all set. Another big change is you eat lunch now a little earlier, right? It's more like a brunch. You guys get to eat at 11:39 to about 12:07. So that's a big change too. The day changes too, right? There's your times, which are also on your schedules. So if you're looking at your schedules, you see the timestamps on all the periods. And then if you're looking at your schedule also, a helpful thing to know is that if your room number is a 100 level, 100 levels are on the first floor. Any room number with a 200 is on the second floor, right? 1 is first, 2 is second floor. So again, your classes, not a lot is changing. You guys have taken math, social, English, and science for the last 7 years. You know this, right? This isn't changing, and it's not going to change anytime soon. But you're also doing PE, art, music, You're going to do family consumer science, tech. You've all done that before, right? You're going to kind of commit to a world language. So a lot of you are going to see either French or Spanish full-time on your schedule now. So the nice, interesting thing, the fun change, I guess, this year is that by the time you get to 8th grade, you are going to be in accelerated high school level world language class. So we kind of shifted our structure in our world language department here. So in 7th grade, you guys are the first cohort to have world language every day in 7th grade, which means that in 8th grade, you will go on to either French or Spanish 1, which is going to earn you a high school level credit, the 1 credit you need to graduate. But again, I'm saying all that now very quickly because we will talk at length about what this all means by the time you leave here in 8th grade to go to 9th grade. So again, a lot of information right there, but don't worry, we're going to talk and unpack that a lot more over the next 2 years. And then band or chorus, if you are in band or chorus, you will see that is scheduled in your day. No more coming to school early for it. You're going to have it every other day. If you're in band or chorus, it's every other day. It alternates 7th period. If you're in band only, you'll have band every day with a band sectional. And if you're in chorus only, you will have chorus and the chorus sectional on the opposite day. And then the new class that you're going to take is health. All right, so every other day in your schedule somewhere for the whole year, you're going to have health with either Mrs. DeSori or Mrs. Donahue. And it's going to be a really, really fun class. All right, you're going to learn a lot of things. The classics like your respiratory, circulatory system, but you're also going to learn some important little heavier things too. We're going to have a mental health unit. You're going to learn about the importance of recognizing that in yourself and in other people. We talk a lot about, kind of understanding your strengths and your weaknesses and how to work through that, and kind of like just character building too in there as well. So that's a really fun class, a new class for you guys. Some other classes you might see in your schedule. Some of you might see RTI English or RTI Math, which is just a couple period in the day where you get some extra support in math and English. Some of you might see a study hall in there. A study hall is kind of a low structured area. I want to say that carefully. It's not show up and do whatever you want for 41 minutes. It's a quiet place to, maybe it's be productive. I got to get all my homework done. I didn't do the night before. I got a big test coming up later that day. I'm going to use that period to study. Or maybe you're someone who's got a really good system. You've got a nice place to do your homework at home. You've done it, and you've got 41 minutes to kind of turn off and press the pause button for a minute. Maybe it's reading a book, or maybe it's doing something different. So again, that study hall is in there. And some of you might see a structured study hall, and some of you might see resource. And then here's just a snapshot of the day. We kind of talked through this. You're all looking at your schedule now, right? So that's pretty good. And then also, after school activities, we're going to be doing a career fair, an activities fair, sometime within the first month of school. Well, you will get to know all of the different clubs and activities we have. All right, so some of these are very academic clubs like Science Olympiad and National Junior Honor Society. And some of these are more leisure fun clubs like robotics. There is a yearbook club with Mrs. Milliken, which is also really cool. She puts a lot of work into that. And that yearbook, and you will come to find out if you're going to be on the yearbook club, a lot of that yearbook that you hold at the end of the year is because of the students that are on that club. You guys are doing a lot of the work if that's something that you're interested in. So again, everyone's going to have a chance to go to an activities fair. Probably be in the atrium or the gym down here within the first month of school. Really cool. Different booths are set up with some past projects, some hands-on stuff to see what it is that you're going to do in that club, should you be interested in it. All right, the other thing I want to talk about, again, we talked about a little bit on the information night, the 8th grade accelerated courses. All right, so 8th grade kind of opens the door for students to take the accelerated high school level classes while you're still in middle school. So again, the application process, anybody can throw their hat in the ring, so to speak. If you have a passion or an interest in science or math, if you're really good at art and you love art, there's an accelerated art class. We have accelerated accelerated facts classes and accelerated technology classes as well. So The reason I want to say this now, specifically for math and science, if you folks have a passion or interest in math or science, and you want to get into honors algebra 1 in 8th grade or earth and space sciences in 8th grade, I want to say that part of that application process is that we are looking at your grades. All right, so you're kind of hitting the ground running, you know, marking period 1. So I wanted to put that out there. I wanted to say, hey, we're going to be looking at the grades, and part of that grade, we're looking at marking period 1. So I don't want you to have to wait until January 15th, which is actually in the calendar now. So January 15th in DMS, in the auditorium this time, at 6 p.m., we're going to have a whole information night, about an hour. We're going to break down all the classes. We're going to talk about when the application deadlines are due for each one. We're going to talk about implications in high school and even after high school too. So that's an event you don't want to miss should you be interested in the accelerated classes we have in 8th grade. National Junior Honor Society, if you are someone who is passionate about their grades and grades are really important to you, right? We have the National Junior Honor Society in 8th grade. Again, I want to state this now because part of the requirements for induction into that program is that you have to have a 93 or higher cumulative average over the first 3 marking periods. All right, so again, cumulative average over the first 3 marking periods. It's an application process. We'll hear about it on the announcements. Information will go home to parents about when that application deadline is. And then the person you're going to want to talk to is Mrs. Stearns. She is our 8th grade English teacher. She is the faculty advisor to that program. Modified sports. All right, so another big change in 7th grade is that you all get to play sports for the school. All right, so there is a fall session which is open right now. So if parents, if you are interested in football, or what do we got? Cross country, there is tennis. Those are all fall sports. The registration window is open online. If you wanted to go in there and register, I believe I'm hearing, someone told me that football starts actually today. It's starting. We are here. We are ready to go. Then the registration process is right on the website. If you go to the athletic tab on our homepage and go to the helpful links, you will see a family ID registration link. And there's also a link you can click to walk you through the whole process. All right, parent communication. I think we've got 2 slides left. Parent communication. You're going to get a lot through Parent Square, through email, right? We're going to send you old school USPS stuff as well. But as far as I'm concerned, give me a call. Parent Square me, email me. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. But if you need anything else other than what we talked about or outside of my role and responsibility to you guys, our middle school main office line is right there, 673-6200. All right, quick PSA for the PTA. So again, if you are interested in this, there are green flyers out there for your parents to take if you are interested in becoming a member of the PTA. This is a super good crew, a lot of fun. They're always looking for new people to help out. All right, last stretch. School supplies are up. So if you go to the district webpage, click DMS, there should be another link up the top that says school supplies. It's broken down by grade. 7th grade is live, 8th grade is live. So I see a lot of bags here, so I feel like a lot of shopping has been done already. So find your locker, get yourself all set up. And there's your map. If you hadn't had, I've left a few extras on the table. I think we should have a few extras on there for a map with the lockers. So on that note, I know that I probably went over the time I told you I was going to, which is classic me, just talk longer than I need to. So I will leave you with this. I, Mr. McCullough, and all the teachers that are here maybe in their classrooms, we're super excited for you guys to start 7th grade. All right? Let's make it a great year. It's a fresh start, a clean slate. So, but when you leave, here's what I want you to do. This is my suggestion. So if your last name starts with an A through L, consider going to your locker first, okay? Be sure you can open it, find out where it is. If your last name starts with anything between M through Z, I kindly suggest that you walk your schedule first as to not gum up the lockers and everyone's doing the same thing. So,